We are going on an extraordinary journey. We trace the remarkable progression of our ancestors in Britain, from their hunter-gatherer roots
fragmentary, kind of crunched up bone,
to the dawn of modern civilization. Our journey begins at the caves of Creswell Crags in Derbyshire, an ideal starting point for unravelling the mysteries of our past. The cliffs in this ravine contain caves that were occupied during the last ice age between 43,000 and 10,000 years ago, and these caves have sheltered humans and they've sheltered wildlife for thousands of years. So let's explore the secrets that lie within them. These caves have witnessed the ebb and flow of time from the days when Neanderthals sought refuge from within these walls, and it's incredible to think that our ancestors left their marks right here in this very spot.
From what I understand, cave art in Britain is pretty rare, right? And the cave art that we've got at Creswell Crags is the oldest, if not the only cave art we've got in England.
Well, we're definitely the very first Ice Age cave art discovered, so in 2003, discovered by Paul Pettit, Paul Barn and Sergio Ripoll. And we're just very lucky that we have so many different pieces of cave art here at Creswell Crags.
What sort of period does the cave art here date from?
So we know the date of the cave art partly because of the style of the art and comparing it to art in Europe of known ages, and also partly because we've got areas here that are calcium carbonate sort of flowstone, the same things that stalactites and stalagmites are made out of, and they're overlying these lines here. So the flowstone has been dated to around about 12,800 years old, so we know that the art underneath it is even older than that.
So what's this particular person drawn? What's he depicting just here?
So we've got a red deer stag. So we've kind of got its back here. We're going up its back. We've got its ear. We've got an antler going up there. Then we've got down the front of it, down its front leg, up its front leg. It's underneath there. And we've got another leg here as well.
It stood the test of time, hasn't it?
It has, yeah. Even with modern graffiti over it, it's still survived, which is amazing. So this is my favourite. This is the bison. So we're going up its body here. Got its muzzle down there, got its eye there, nicely outlined. Top of its head, got its horn around here, up its back, down the hump of its back, and then we've got the really nice muscular outline of its front leg here. And so here we have our ibis, so we've got its beak here, we've got sort of the top of its head, down its neck here, and then we've got its eye around there as well.
The Neanderthals and our Homo sapien ancestors didn't occupy these caves as a permanent home. The caves were a welcome safe haven as our ancestors followed the great herds of woolly mammoth and reindeer migrating across this part of prehistoric Britain. It was a very dangerous time to live and survive. Dangerous animals like hyena, which hunted in packs, could attack you on open ground. rival Neanderthal clans might clash and fight over food and territory, as perhaps our ancestors also did further on at the end of the last ice age. The caves here would have definitely given you some security.
Hidden within Robin Hood's cave lies a vast collection of Apotopeic marks. They were thought to possess magical properties, acting as a barrier against evil, and were often placed in areas thought to be vulnerable to supernatural intrusion. For those seeking a sense of control amidst times of uncertainties, they turned to these symbols to create a barrier between their world and the supernatural, the unknown. And they offer us a glimpse into the fears, the beliefs, and the customs of our ancestors. We're lucky to be at the site when a team of archaeologists from the University of Sheffield are digging here, where hopefully they've been uncovering some artefacts that will help unravel some of the mysteries of the past. What have you discovered so far?
Well, in this test pit, we actually started digging here last year and had a smaller test pit as a test. And we started recovering a lot of very fragmentary, kind of crunched up bone. And the bone was of larger mammals. But it was all very, very small pieces. And some of the pieces show evidence of acid etching and digestion, which is typical of hyena bone as well. So we came back this year and put in a larger test pit, and we've excavated right through the same unit, and we've recovered just bags and bags more of the same kind of bone. We found a few of these that are kind of smaller carnivores. Angharad will know better about this. She's the faunal person, but what she had said before was that it could be something like a fox.
Really?
Yeah, but it also this one, I think it might be a deciduous tooth, which means it could be a young hyena. What we keep finding are very angular, small, fragmented pieces. Some of them have perforations through from the acid etching and so on. And then, fortunately, we've also recovered, I believe, 3 different hyena teeth right now. And some of the teeth are from young individuals, and one of them is from an older adult. So that indicates that there would have been several hyenas here, and it would have been a denning area.
Within the museum's archive is a wealth of significant finds, from the remnants left behind by cave hyenas to the tools of our Neanderthal ancestors. These offer us a glimpse into their lives whilst they sheltered in the caves here. The Ice Age conjures visions of beasts long gone, such as the woolly mammoth or the sharp-fanged saber cats. But not all of those inhabitants would have looked so strange, so unfamiliar to the modern eye. And one of those inhabitants was the cave hyena. Cave hyenas were relatively common in Ice Age Europe, with their long, muscular necks and strong forelimbs, much larger, more robust than their living relatives. And this little chap was living here in Pinhole Cave at Creswell Crags 40,000 years ago.
Many of the animals which we associate with the plains of Africa were right here with us in Britain 14,000 years ago. By the end of the last ice age and into the Neolithic, all of man's predators had become extinct, apart from bears and the wolf, which in some cases we had domesticated and became man's best friend. So what's the oldest evidence that you found for human occupation in these caves?
So the oldest evidence is Neanderthals, and we think they were here around about 50,000 to 40,000 years ago.
You're joking. So 50,000 years ago. So all that time ago, we'd have quite possibly had a family in here, eating round a fire, socialising, keeping warm, telling stories. That's just mind-blowing.
It is, yeah, to think that far back in the past. We unfortunately don't know exactly what they were doing because we only have evidence of their stone tools and one cut marked bone of a reindeer, showing that they were eating reindeer. But I imagine Creswell Crags is a really great place for them to visit.
Imagine this incredible location as the perfect observation point for spotting migrant herds during the Ice Age. This place in Derbyshire held immense significance for our ancestors, which is why they built a stone circle over there.
We are standing within one of the most stunning unchanged landscapes in Britain. Apart from some dry stone walls and the odd farm, this landscape hasn't changed since the end of the last Ice Age. The knowledge for planting and harvesting crops and raising livestock had come to Britain from Central Europe. From hunting and gathering, our ancestors take a huge leap forward and begin to make permanent settlements. For the first time in human evolution in Britain, we become farmers. Soon after, our ancestors begin to build megalithic monuments which dot the landscape of Britain and mainland Europe. And 4,000 to 6,000 years after they were built, they still hold an air of mystery and magic. Why did our ancestors go to so much effort to build them? And what was their purpose?
The artefacts left behind at Creswell Crags by early humans paint a vivid picture of their lives. But these ancient stone circles serve a different purpose, bringing communities together for rituals and celebrations. But both sites show us the ingenuity, the deep-rooted beliefs of our ancestors.
This area of the Darby Peak district in the Neolithic and into the Bronze Age would have been full of farming settlements, and their central religious and most important gathering place was right here, or below. Or below has been described by many academics as the Stonehenge of the North, and we do know that part of this monument was used for burials during the Bronze Age. But what was its true purpose? Why was it built? Was it a place to remember the dead, or to celebrate life, rebirth and regeneration? Or was it possibly an observatory to follow the sun, the moon and the stars? I guess we'll never actually know. This place has a very magical feel to it, and it's just as ancient as the pyramids in Egypt. In fact, its beginnings are far, far older. Just think about that.
Our journey has shown us both the struggles for survival our early ancestors faced, to the communal gatherings encircled by stone. And these sites remind us of our shared human heritage, for our ability to adapt, innovate and build upon that knowledge passed down through thousands of years.